morning. Welcome to a vacation edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Promise, we're presented by Brock. And HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to this Friday. As you can tell, we did in fact make it to our mountain home. We already had an eventful night. We were visited by bears last night. I do have a video that I will post later. This place is really cool. The house, whatever cabin thing we're staying. I mean, it's pretty sweet. It's 4 families staying here, and it's 2 stories, and everybody has their own room. And the amenities are great, and there's, I'm on the second level porch right now, looking at the mountains behind us. But there's a fire pit area down on the floor level there, and I would show y'all, but I can't bring both Facebook and YouTube. Maybe the Facebook people may not like it, but it would be easier just to bring YouTube with me to show y'all. So maybe what I'll do is I'll post, here's what I'll do. I'll post the YouTube link in the Facebook comments. So if you want, jump on there and I'll kind of show y'all because I'm on Facebook on my Microsoft Surface and my phone is broadcasting YouTube. So it's just much easier to grab my phone and go. So anyway, I'll show y'all what we got here, which is really pretty cool. So come join us if you're on Facebook, come join us on YouTube if you want to see this real quick. Otherwise, stay there and I'll be back in just a second. So anyway, we're overlooking this, obviously this really cool part of the mountains. And if you come over here, I wonder if I can flip this. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. Cool. So like, we've got this fire pit area down there, right? And so last night we're sitting at the fire pit, and all of a sudden I hear a crackle, and I'm sitting right here, and I look right here, there's a bear right there walking along that fence line. So I get up, my niece was at the swing set over here. I said, hey, Reese, you want to see a bear? And she gets up and freaks out and runs this way, and there was another one right here, and it walked that same path. So I took a video of it. I'll show y'all. But anyway, pretty cool, man. It's beautiful out here. We're like right inside of a mountain. So country living. I don't know if y'all could hear that on Facebook. Sorry, I didn't mean to alienate you, Facebook. I just yeah, I wanted to show that and could only do it to one thing there, which is easier to grab my phone. So let's say some good mornings, man. See what y'all got. I see LSU still doesn't have a baseball coach. I'd like it if you were here yesterday, like I told you, I have made no calls since I left Wednesday morning. So I have no idea. I literally have no idea what's going on. Some people are gonna ask me, like, I have no idea. Seriously, I have no idea. So, and then I know the Pelicans fired Stan Van Gundy. Okay. That went belly up. Okay, let's see what else y'all got. I know my nieces and nephews, if you've been here at Morning Scone for a while, my nephew Eli, my niece Olivia, my niece Sophia, they love the idea of being on Uncle Matt's show. So at some point, I'm certain, provided they wake up, they will come out and join us here. All right, let's say some good morning. Good mornings. Kirk Taylor, good morning. John Bro, Breezy Bro, Brian Arsenault, Jamie Leday, Matthew Booth, Leo Williams, Taylor Termini. Hey, Dad, good morning. So funny story my dad told me. So my mom and dad, when they got married, they honeymooned in Gatlinburg. And my dad, before we came, my dad was like, yeah, we stayed at a place called Zoders, if you see it. I'm like, well, last night we got here, and so we're not in, like, the postal address is Gatlinburg. We're not like in the town, right? I mean, we're up in the mountain, but you can take a ride down the mountain and you can go into Gatlinburg. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna go find us something to eat. So I went and found dinner last night, and because we got here yesterday and unpacked everything and needed dinner. And so I drive in. I'm just going down the main strip, the main road, Parkway, whatever it's called, and I'll be damned. Zoders right there. So I took a picture. I was like, Dad, I think my lodging is a little nicer than what you and Mom had back in '79. Anyway, interesting. Let's see. Troy Abear, what's up? Samuel Merrifield, think the delay in press conference to announce Bianco means Woodward is pulling rabbit out of his hat. Samuel, I have no idea. Like, again, I know y'all want answers to that. I don't have them. I'm sorry. I mean, I was so neck deep in that story until vacation started, and I'll find out whenever I get back what happened. Brian Ashcraft did the EVD flares lag. Oh man, Kirk, Sonny Bears, we did. So I just told that story. I'm gonna post a video. I will post a video in a little bit. I probably have to edit it for some language. But yeah, there were actually, we saw 4 last night. But that's crazy. People weren't lying. I mean, they out. The kids were making s'mores by the fire last night, and there's no doubt that's what they smelled. Apparently, they have like super duper smell. Kelly Gross, good morning. Jeff McKithen, Bruce Parker, Bears. Galakai. Jason Sheffield, yes, black bears. So they're black bears. Adam Zander, Bears beats Battlestar Galactic. I don't know what that means, but I'm down with it. Glenn Laurie, good morning. Mike Detillier was a true form yesterday on AFR. T-Bob was laughing so hard about the donkey story. Oh, he told the donkey story again. That's so good. Y'all, in all seriousness, 100% seriousness, like when I'm out, I don't listen to the show. I don't watch. It's just, when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. So I didn't hear yesterday. The Bears got Scone. Jonathan Martin, Henry Gordon Bennett, good morning. Gosman dealing. How about that, man? I didn't see what he did lately, but I mean, but for Jacob deGrom, he'd probably win the Cy. Gosman would be on track to win the Cy Young this year. He's been incredible. There was a really good write-up actually earlier this week, if you're interested, at USA Today, and the title was something like how this pitcher went from average to ace, something like that, and it was really good. Drew Hurst, Cully Crassioni, good morning. Beautiful backdrop. Yes, it's amazing. I tell you what, something else, man. Boy, oh boy. Coming up these windy roads. Better take it easy at night, and you better be on your P's and Q's, man. Kirk, I'm going to be at the CWS Monday and Tuesday. Would you be interested in a video of atmosphere for show usage? Yeah, just post it, tag me. I mean, I won't be back in studio. I won't be back on AFR until a week from Monday. So I'm off, obviously, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then all of next week. But yeah, man, post it for sure. Shout out YouTube, see what y'all got. Fire away, anything y'all got this morning? I know Olivia's up. I'll get Olivia out here in a minute. Joey Vincent, good morning. Trivia Carter, what's up? Brady Smith, morning, Matt. Why is being a Pelican fan so difficult? Brady, I mean, a part of it, Brady, honestly, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but it's bad ownership. I mean, bad management. And you've got, I think about how bad the Saints were for so long until they finally got a great head coach, a great GM that put together a roster. I mean, I believe Gail Benson will, well, not believe, but she's shown it. Like, she will spend and she wants to win and she's committed to winning. That's awesome. That's an undeniable truth. But, she just, you got to make good hires. And you brought in David Griffin, who hired Stan Van Gundy, and that didn't go well. So, I mean, they've had luck. I mean, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Zion Williams. You've had 3 generational type talents, man. The first 2 are going in the Hall of Fame, and the third, stay healthy and go on that trajectory too. But, What's y'all doing? What's up, y'all? I am. I heard voices. I was like, the hell is that coming from? Is that from somewhere in the ravine? Are there mountain people? Let's see. Grant Dugas, morning, Matt. Headed to Pigeon Forge tomorrow for a week-long vacation. So Pigeon Forge apparently is hopping, man. That's like Panama City, dude. We'll be in this area, Grant. Holler. We'll go drink a beer or something like that. William Kimbrough, good morning. Pat Huseman, Stephen Miller, good morning. Tom Brouillard, YouTuber, the chosen ones. Brady Smith, I'll be headed that way too. Look at that. Man, a lot of people come this way. Hey, Janet, good morning. Excuse me. Jason Mobile, thanks for sharing with the cool kids on YouTube. Jason, I saw you were in the hospital, man. Are you okay? Lord. I hope all's well, man. I mean, you posted that was good, but I didn't know you were going to the hospital, man. Hope all's well. Kenneth Martin, Will Wade keeps recruiting gems. I saw that. Will Wade got a 4-star shooting guard for next year. Saw that on Twitter. Keep reeling them in, bro. Merrick Mathern, let's see, Stevens, like Groundhog Day around BR. Good morning. Who's the next LSU baseball coach going to be? I heard the janitor down the hair salon said. Oh man. The one thing I do know that someone texted me yesterday was that Mike Bianco's at the beach. I know he has a beach house, and apparently he was going to the beach to think about it. That's the one thing I know. So for whatever that's worth. Does the cabin have a landline? Actually, I don't know if it does. I haven't seen that. Nick Shepard, can you throw a football over the mountains? Nick, honest to goodness, when I was sitting right here yesterday looking, I thought about that line. I'm like, bet I could throw a football over the mountains. Definitely thought about that. Tad Page, good morning. Nicholas, how'd the EVD player work out yesterday? Worked just fine. Drew did pretty well in the car, man. He had about a 10 or 15 minute episode where he was just not happy at all, but yeah, it worked out well. By the way, if you're watching us there on YouTube, if you would please hit the thumbs up button. Say it all the time. That's how YouTube lets people know we're here, and it's how we grow it. So please hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the page. Big help if you would. I could listen to Mike D tell the donkey story any day, all day. Robert Groff, good morning. Glenn Laurie was just in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge last week. Hit Dollywood, Pink Jeep Tours, rented a party barge on the lake north of Gatlinburg. That's a good idea. I know we're going zip lining today. I don't know what we have tomorrow. I think some are going whitewater rafting, but we can't do that with Drew. Sunday's Father's Day, so we have brunch reservations, and then going to play golf. I think we're going to grill Sunday night. I don't know what we're doing Monday, Tuesday. I think Wednesday we leave. So, let's see. Why do I think of John Denver looking at that background? That John Denver's full of, man. Thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little rockier than this. John Melanson. I think a lot of World Series are going on in Pigeon Forge this upcoming week. My sister's headed there for my nephew's World Series. So John, that must be it. So we're here so normally we do a beach vacation every year. But my nephew Eli, who's 10, is doing the travel ball thing now. And so they have a tournament here this week. So I think they play maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Yeah, so that's why we're here. So we came because they were coming up here, and so it's like, hey, let's just do the family vacation, up here instead of just change it up a little bit. So that's why we're here. And I actually know quite a few, like a guy I work with, same thing. His nephew plays travel ball. They're coming up for the same tournament, so they're staying up here too. I think they get here tomorrow. John Melanson, just did that one, sorry. Kyle Milliken, Scone, did you wrestle that bear? Hell no, I didn't wrestle that bear. Kept my distance, bro. Living Lambo. David Griffin still has some proving to do. Lots of questionable moves so far. Agreed. Brian Arsenault, shout out to Brock. Great experience yesterday with Dr. Riche. Indeed, man. Dr. Riche is awesome. He's also a Calico bear. Great dude. Thanks for the shout out, man. Eric Wildrider, did you see LSU Open -4 against UCLA? Figured it would be higher, but erased last year from my memory. So, Eric, it actually was LSU -2. So if it's gone to 4, then that's gotten heavy LSU action. Let's see. Because I'm telling you, I talked about it on air. Whenever it first came out, it was LSU -2. Here I'm showing 3.5. Here I'm showing 5. So I guess you can get in a little bit of a variety there. Maybe it bumped up to 5, then back down. Looks like it's 3.5 right now. So, I mean, look, if you get 3 points for home field, that means if it was in Baton Rouge, LSU would be somewhere around 6, right? 5, 6 point favorite if it was in Tiger Stadium. I mean, but it goes to show you, like, to your point, who was that said that? Was Eric. It goes to show you, Eric, like, a lot of times, you know, as fans of a team, like, we have our own bias about our team and we forget, like, I could say about LSU for this coming year, I could say, man, look, you return all 5 starters from the offensive line. I mean, 2 really good quarterbacks that you're excited about. Man, breakout year time for John Emery. God, look at Kayshon Boutte and Coy Moore, and get Jeray Jenkins back. Look at all these pass catchers. Dude, on the defensive side, I mean, your whole defensive line's back. You get this potential first-round pick transfer from Clemson, Mike Jones. You get Major Burns at safety. You got Derek Stingley, who's the best corner, right? I mean, you could say that, and you could spin it that way, and it sounds awesome. Or you could do it this way. Man, you got your offensive line back, but those guys were bad last year. So just because you return 5 starters on the offensive line doesn't mean you're good. You got 3 running backs, none of them have done anything in their career. Your 2 quarterbacks that people are high on have started a combined 5 games, and Brennan lost to Mississippi State and Missouri. His only win is against Vanderbilt. You don't have any tight ends. The defensive line returns, but none of those guys have really been dominant in their career. You're super thin at linebacker, and if Mike Jones is so great, why did he transfer from Clemson? Yeah, you like Derek Stingley and Elias Ricks, but they better be good. But you had them last year, and your pass defense was awful. Are you really any better at – you know what I mean? Like, you could – so that's my point. Like, and the truth generally falls somewhere in between. Like, I think of all those things that are questions, right, I think probably half of them get answered in the affirmative, and you probably still have some questions. I think the most improvement you're going to see, obviously, is going to be on defense because it would be hard to be worse. Like, I really think – I'm still curious about the interior of the defensive line because they weren't good against the run last year and they did not generate a pass rush. But I like guys like Jaquelin Roy. I think he's going to be really good. You know, can Neil Farrell and Glenn Logan back for their final seasons, you take that step? Yeah, I really like B.J. Ojulari as a pass rusher, and Ali Gay is very much in a money type year situation where I think he has a big year. He has major draft potential. But I'm concerned about the line. I actually think linebacker, they're going to be pretty good there. And I do like moving Jay Ward to safety and adding Major Burns. Again, it's just going to be hard to be worse than you were a year ago. But how much better are you? That's really the question, right? So I guess, I mean, that's a long way of answering your question, Eric, but it makes sense, right? I mean, we tend to default to the positive where you have to consider both sides of the coin. And I mean, what we saw this team be a year ago was just not good. I mean, they just weren't any good. So how much better are they? I think that's why. By the way, I think LSU will beat UCLA, and I think they'll cover that number. I'll go on record right now and say that. But I think if I look ahead to the season, I don't think you win in Tuscaloosa. This is the thing that people are probably not going to be super happy with me about, is I think they're going to split with the Mississippi schools. Like, I think they'll maybe beat Mississippi State and lose to Ole Miss. And then really your season comes down to what do you do against Florida, Auburn, and Bama. I have Florida, Auburn, and A&M at home. Let's see. As always, y'all, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. I mean, only 11 on Facebook. What's good? Did everybody jump over to maybe everybody jumped over to YouTube? let's see. Eric Hart, the background for today's morning scone is almost as good as Fathead Drew. Eric Hart, need a vacation edition of Ask E-Rock. Let's do that. Erica and Drew are still sleeping. So, and it's 8. Wait, it would be 9:03 here. We're an hour ahead. So I need to change the time on here. But probably for the weekend. Let's say we'll do a morning scone tomorrow. The wonderful sounds of nature. Tommy, Matt, dude, I am like baking right now. The sun like right on me. I have like no shade at all from the sun. I'm trying to give you all the backdrop, and I'm suffering for it. Kirk Taylor, Mintz is in town, going to try to find him the odd father. Needs to come up. Oh, I don't know which. I don't think Jimmy's going up there this year. I think if LSU goes, he goes usually. Mitchell Prine, does the investigation LSU is under right now make the head baseball job look not as good as it used to? No, Mitchell. That's not the case. The thing is, first of all, like the college baseball landscape has just changed dramatically since LSU was last looking for a coach. That's obvious, right? I mean, in 2007. Since then, South Carolina's won 2 championships. Vanderbilt's won 2 championships. Georgia's been to a championship series. Florida's won a national championship, right? I mean, like, a lot has changed in the conference, in the game as a whole. People have pumped more resources into baseball. So, you know, LSU paying a coach a large salary and having a nice new stadium and fan engagement isn't unique anymore. A lot of places have that. So, whereas it would have been a no-brainer to pull a Dan McDonald from Louisville 15 years ago, it's just not the case anymore because he's been to Omaha 4 times, right? So you're just fishing from a shallower pool now. It's just a tougher pull. That's all. It doesn't have anything to do with the Title IX investigation with respect to candidates' interest. Now, the Title IX part, as we've kind of alluded to, that's caused LSU to be a little more hesitant with their hiring practices. So if any red flags come up with that respect to with some other coaches, that's caused them to cool. And I'll tell you that's in part why the LSU cooled on Kevin O'Sullivan, and the same reason why I believe Cliff Godwin won't be the coach. I mean, unless if LSU gets into a really desperate type situation. Matt, the Hills have eyes, don't forget. Brian Wynn, Matt, who would be your ultimate choice for LSU baseball coach if you could have anyone? I mean, it was the guy that they were targeted first, was Kevin O'Sullivan. The guy who's 52, knows the SEC, great recruiter, knows pitching. You know, but they elected not to go that route. So, despite doing that dance for a while, you know, they're in a tough spot right now, honestly. You know, I would probably. I mean, the way you asked the question wasn't, you know, who realistically would you want? You know, because as I understand it, Dan McDonald won't leave, but that guy makes a lot of sense. You know, he was an assistant at Ole Miss, so he knows the SEC. He's been to Omaha 4 times. I mean, up until a couple of years ago, y'all, Louisville baseball didn't even charge attendance. Like, that's how much he's just built that ground up. I mean, that's one of those guys you can realistically say, give that guy the resources of an LSU, and he will win big, you know. That makes sense to me. Kirk, unknown Pigeon Fridge Hudco party we don't know about. Oh, Pigeon Ford's like Hudco. Oh. That's not a bad idea. Lisa Drago, good morning. Gary Lejeune, good morning. Matt, why haven't you mentioned Arizona coach Johnson as an option? He beat Bianco. Did you see how few fans were at their games? Gary, the reason I haven't mentioned it is because nobody's mentioned it to me. Like, I don't come on here and spitball. Like, I'm telling you information that I have from people involved in LSU's search and decision-making process. So, like, the reason I haven't mentioned Jay Johnson from Arizona is nobody associated with LSU search, at least up until Wednesday when I left Baton Rouge, had mentioned that name to me. That's why. Sam Dixon, all LSU staff, perhaps. Bianco, Todd Walker, Brian Wilson is pitching coach, entertainment coordinator. I just don't. I mean, I understand your point. And listen, I would not be opposed to Todd Walker being a hitting coach, but because I know Todd knows hitting and he could be a great hitting instructor. The thing is, if you did that, you would. Oh, our Wi-Fi is bad. Is that why Facebook is low? Okay. The thing is, if you, that's probably because I'm outside. I probably need to be inside. YouTube's good though. So Sam, like the thing is, if you were going to go that route, like bringing in a Todd Walker as the hitting coach, I'd be fine with it to let Todd teach hitting, but you have to make sure that that you check all the other boxes on staff. You've got to make sure you have someone that can handle your pitchers. You've got to make sure that recruiting is covered. Like that was kind of a problem that Paul ran into. Was Alan Dunn coached pitchers, but he didn't recruit at all. And then Paul near the end stopped recruiting as well. I mean, it was Nolan doing all that, doing all the work himself. So, anyway, I'm not opposed to it. You just got to make sure that the rest of your staff is covered. Leo Williams, if y'all go ziplining at Climeworks, it's awesome. That is where we're going, Leo. That's where we're going today. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Kirk, if you have to retreat to your beach house to think about it, when you can come home, be closer to your boys and family, then you don't want it. That's not exactly true, Kirk. I mean, that's not, because home for him and his family has been Oxford for 21 years. You got to keep in mind, like, Mike Bianco went JUCO. He was at LSU for 2 years. And yes, he did coach here, but 21 years he's been in Oxford, man. His boys were born there, like his daughter, like his kids were born there. They've grown up there. His daughter's entering her senior year in high school there. Like that is home for them. Like he would be leaving a place where he built that program and has been for 21 years. I mean, that's not a snap decision, man. Like you're thinking of it from the wrong context. It's not about coming home. It's about leaving home to come to a place where you have ties for sure, but you're leaving a place where you're rooted. Let's see. Ivanka De Silva, good morning. Brandon English, Truax, what's up? Nikki Martin, does Skip or Paul have any input on who will be the next coach? This is going to surprise a lot of people, but not really. As far as I'm concerned, as I know Paul Skip and a small committee, if you want to call them that, did put together a list that they gave to Scott Woodward of people that they thought should be considered. But that was not a list that in any way was definitive or something that was mandated that people like. All these can't, like I'll tell you this at this point now, like Jim Schlossnagle was on that list, and Schlossnagle got spider just crawling across the air. Where's that thing? Wow, that's crazy. Like Schlossnagle was on that list, and Schlossnagle was not considered. And I'll tell you, the Tuesday after LSU won the regional, and the day later is when Kevin O'Sullivan put out the statement that he was staying at Florida. That's kind of when LSU realized that Pat Casey, they were not going to move forward with O'Sullivan. Casey was out. They went on that Tuesday to Schlossnagle and said, hey, would you be interested in interviewing? And at that point, he'd already taken the A&M job. So to the point, no. No. It's not like, I know there's this assumption that like Skip's making the decision, and I understand why people would think that, but that's not true. As a matter of fact, I know someone who got a call from Skip on Monday, and Skip was like, hey, you got some news for me? Because that's when everybody thought the Bianco thing was going down. It's like, shouldn't shouldn't I be calling you for this? But that's really how it's going. Let's see. Golly, it's bugs everywhere, man. Whew. I'm sweating for y'all today, bro. For real, like for real sweating. Damon Hinderberger. You saw a bear. Was it a Catholic high bear? Damn right, bro. George Reitmeyer, rap in batches, B-baller, 25-100, Stingley, Ricks, Flott, best cornerback room in the country. I mean, I think Stingley is the best cornerback in the country, so if you start there, you can make that argument. Subjective, but I think LSU starting corners are really good. It's funny, though, I don't think people would throw Flott in that mix because he really wasn't the guy that popped last year. Jay Ward was great last year, but he's moving to safety. And the other freshman, I'm blanking on him right now. Anyway. Stephen Miller, Big C said, put every cent you can get your hands on and bet LSU -4 yesterday on Condon Uncensored. I mean, Stephen, honestly, I think that's a ton of disrespect for UCLA, who actually last year, their record wasn't great, but like they lost like 3 games by 4 points, something like that. But they have gotten better under Chip Kelly, and a lot of people think this is the year they will take the step forward. But this feels, I've told y'all, this for me, this season feels a ton like 2018. And I think, and look at what happened to LSU Miami in that season opener that year. I think that could be similar. So, Janet Anderson, what's the temperature, Matt? Janet, I don't know. 80s maybe, but like honestly, it was pretty chilly last night. By the way, if you're on Facebook and you're lagging still, a lot of people are saying that. I'm going to post the YouTube link in the comments again, so if you want to, just jump over with us on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're on mobile, just X out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, and then hit live chat again, and the comments will pop up. Glenn Laurie, Matt, did see home field website for LSU shirts, hoodies, fleeces. I did. So Glenn, Home Field did a buy with us at 104.5. So the last 2 weeks, if you've noticed on our logos and everything, the Home Field logo is on there. It's like a Home Field takeover. We're supposed to be wearing the apparel on air. Well, I'm not there, obviously, but this week. And so like you've seen Hester and T-Bob wearing their apparel on air all this week. So yeah, they've done a really good job with it. I mean, I like a lot of the vintage logos and stuff. It really is nice. Let's see, George, what's up with Godwin? So same thing, for those that have heard me say it, the hang up on Cliff Godwin is similar to what the reason was that LSU kind of cooled on O'Sullivan. And look, man, both guys are single men, and and I'm not saying anyone's done anything illegal. Don't misunderstand. And nothing even that would run afoul of the NCAA. But I think LSU just has to tread very carefully with different personality types, especially with their current Title IX situation. That's all. Don Fuselier, good morning. Love the show. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that, man. Michael Melanson, good morning. Tom Brouillard, YouTube's crystal clear. Good. Brady Smith, what are your thoughts on Zion's family leaking to the media they want him out of NOLA? Didn't see that, honestly, but like I said, Brady, when I'm on vacation, so I didn't even see the story. And it really doesn't matter what his family might leak and if he wants out of NOLA, because he's not going anywhere for at least another 5 years. Same with AD. He'd be dumb not to sign his Supermax or his Max, and he'll make a buttload of money, and they'll try to build it here. What happened with Walker at Calvary? Who's Walker at Calvary? I don't know. You talking about like Walker Howard? Or Eric Walker? Yeah, man, we are lagging here, huh? That stinks. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Okay, Facebook broke down. That's what people are on Facebook. Got it. Manny, enjoy the vacation. Looks beautiful. Great sounds all around the mountains. Yeah, it is. It really is nice out here, man. Kirk, Matt dropped a video in your DMs on IG. It's relevant to your trip. Okay. Where are the kiddos? Wake them up. We need to see Sophia. All right. Let me see if they're up. If y'all wanna hang tight for a second. If y'all hang tight for a second, I'll go see which ones are up. Y'all still got me on YouTube, yeah? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know why our Wi-Fi is not cooperating. Hang on, let me see if they're up. Go catch some AC for a second too. All right, well, Sophia's still sleeping, and Olivia is eating breakfast, so no kiddos today. Josh Carlos Canizero possibly Nickel State. I don't know that, Josh, but it's interesting you say that because I was talking to Kendall Rogers on AFR that like when that news broke that Seth Thibodeau was out at Nichols, and that's the first name he blurted out. It'd be interesting. That would be the right kind of job for Andy to get back in. Sophia's the star of Vacation Scone. Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. We might be about done. Kiddos are still sleeping. We're out of comments. Facebook is buffering. Maybe I'll try to get a better option for tomorrow, so we don't buffer like this. Whoop, that didn't post. Son of a bugger. Matt, you think Bianco is like the last resort asked to prom after getting dropped by your top 3 hottest girls? Kind of, yes. But it's not fair to say that LSU was dropped by the others. I do think Dan McDonald, Tim Corbin, those weren't going to happen. I believe Pat Casey wanted the job and was. You don't fly from Eugene to Baton Rouge as a courtesy. You don't come down here just to see Mike the Tiger and see the sights. Like, he wanted the job. What he didn't want was the fiasco that was going to surround him taking the job because of the Heimlich stuff. And then Kevin O'Sullivan was, well, I've talked about that enough. Lane Ward, Matt, what are your thoughts on the Brooks and Bryson golf feud? Good for golf? Yeah, anything that brings attention is good for it. Kirk, how hard is it for you to unplug? Well, Kirk, I mean, I'm still doing this, right? So to that end, you could say, man, it must be really hard. But this is just sort of a thing where, man, we've done this for 1,181 consecutive days. I'm not going to stop, But from my show, not at all. Like, when I'm on vacation, bro, I'm on vacation. And I guess, and the reason, Kirk, it's a good question, but I guess I've done it long enough to know if I miss a day, if I miss a show, it's not going to matter. People take vacation, and I'll catch back up. It was a while, man, before I was comfortable taking vacation and stepping away from the show. But now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'm not there, just whatever. Just make sure that we don't get fined by the FCC, and even if that happens, it's probably still okay. Welcome back, Kirk. Surprised you're here after losing your job. Kirk, did you lose your job, Kirk? Hope not. SEC baseball. A little late joining this morning. Latest on Bianco timeline. I've mentioned at the start, on vacation, and I have not made a single phone call about the LSU baseball coaching hire since Wednesday morning around 9 a.m. And what I was told Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. is that on Wednesday morning, Bianco was meeting with the Ole Miss athletic director. That was their standard end of season meeting, and then he was meeting LSU later, which happened either Wednesday evening or Thursday. And then Bianco went to his place on the beach to think about it. That's the last I was told. So timeline, like I would have thought it would have already happened. But again, like I have not talked to anybody since Wednesday morning. I did see a lot of people ask me about the Ole Miss AD saying, you know, bad information, blah, 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 blah. Like all that is plausible deniability. Like over the weekend, I can tell you for certain over the weekend that LSU and Bianco, be it through intermediaries, discussed, you know, terms, offer, like what it would take, money, what he would be comfortable accepting, sort of thing. So like that has happened. Yeah, but again, I'm not chasing it now like I was. If Bianco says no, what now? I don't know, Trivia. I really don't. Scone, will you pick up some good whiskey or moonshines while there and show them off on Nightcap soon? So, Kyle, there was a regrettable incident last night. I did bring with me a bottle of Old Elk Weeded, Weller 107, Buffalo Trace, and an Eagle Rare. And I opened the Eagle Rare last night, and amid all the hoopla with the Bears, someone who shall remain nameless knocked my bottle of Eagle Rare over and shattered after I had taken just about 2 pours out of it. It was a very, very sad and unfortunate circumstance. So I will be on the lookout today for something else to replace it. That was sad. Glenn Laurie, would love to see you guys do a remote from Saints training camp this year. See what they allow, you know. It's really hard to take the show on the road, but I wouldn't be opposed to it if they'd give us that kind of access type stuff. James McCormick, what's up? Derek Adams did that one. All right, y'all, I think we're done. Sorry for your loss. It was, I definitely let out a very loud expletive. Shocker, right? Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. Anyway. Okay. We are finito. All right, y'all have an awesome day. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. Going to go get on a zip line a little later, and we'll check in. Oh, wait, there was one more. Let's see. Old Heat. Mike D said he sees 10-2 football this fall. That'd be a very nice rebound. That would be. I think 9-3 is more realistic, but 10-2 would be awesome if they could pull that off. I think you could certainly make a case that, you know, the big 3 games at home, A&M, Florida, Auburn, that all 3 of those take a step back this year. You could make that case. I don't know that I necessarily believe it, but if you win 2 of those 3, and if your other loss is to Bama, and if you handle the Mississippi schools, then you're 10-2. I personally think that you're going to get a really nice marquee win on the schedule somewhere. Maybe it's home game against Florida. Maybe beat a top 10 A&M, something like that. But I do think they're going to lose to one of the Mississippi schools. Probably Ole Miss on the road. As much as I hate to say that. I think that's going to be a really, really, really tough out this year. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, if y'all are asking about the Bears, I'll post the video. We had Bears here last night. I got video, but I'll post it. So, all right, let me get out of here. Y'all have an awesome, awesome day, and we'll check in with y'all mañana. If you've not done so yet, please hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Very much appreciate that. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. 4,400 subscribers. That's awesome. Love to take that up a little bit as well. So, all right, y'all have a great day. As always, shout out to Brock and Hudco. You need a roof. Hudco is still working hard, man. That's one thing that I've not completely unplugged from. Still involved in all the Hudco text message and chains and all that sort of stuff. So I know there's bad weather coming in this weekend, so you'll give us a shout over at Hudco. Let's take a look at your roof before this weather comes through. So, okay, y'all. Peace.